Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and figure out exactly how you can uncover hidden property liens in Racine County, Wisconsin, before they completely derail your next real estate investment. If you're out there looking to buy a property, trust me, this is absolutely must-know information.
Look, imagine buying the perfect piece of property. Maybe it's a stunning home in Mount Pleasant, or perhaps a prime commercial lot right in the heart of Racine. You close the deal, you finally get the keys, and then, boom, you discover it comes saddled with someone else's unpaid debts. Suddenly, their past financial nightmare has literally become your present-day financial nightmare.
So, to avoid that, the crucial first step is understanding exactly what a lien actually is. In simple, everyday terms, a lien is just a legal claim or right against a property made by a creditor. Now, some liens are voluntary, right? Like a mortgage you willingly agree to, but others are involuntary, and they essentially force their way onto the title. If a seller owes money to the government, a contractor, or even an ex-spouse, that creditor can attach a lien to the property. And here's the kicker. If that lien isn't resolved before you buy the place, that debt can essentially transfer right over to you.
To help you out, here's our quick roadmap to transforming you into a digital title sleuth. We're going to cover the hidden lien nightmare, navigating the local records, running tax and court checks, interpreting your results, dodging common pitfalls, and finally, a quick mandatory legal disclaimer.
All right, starting with Section 1, the hidden lien nightmare. Let's look at the actual types of property liens you might run into.
You see, a property can be legally encumbered in a sheer variety of ways. Wisconsin's public records framework spreads these out across local, state, and federal jurisdictions, so you could be dealing with delinquent local property taxes, civil judgments from unpaid credit cards, child support liens placed by the Department of Children and Families, construction liens from contractors who never got paid, or even massive federal tax liens straight from the IRS.
Ultimately, what you're after is a clear title, meaning the property is totally free of these legal claims. If any of those liens exist, well, you've got yourself a clouded title. And the difference between the two is everything. A clouded title severely limits your financing options simply because banks rarely lend money against the property with outstanding liens. It also drastically reduces your negotiation power and your ability to eventually resell that property. Because these liens come from all levels of government, there's no single magical database in Wisconsin that gives you a complete title history. We actually need to check 3 specialized portals for Racine County: Landshark, Ascent, and WCCA. We'll break these down, but honestly, you might want to save this cheat sheet as a resource for your own future searches.
Moving right along to Section 2, Navigating Racine County Records, and the specific tools we use to do it.
So, the Register of Deeds, which is physically located at the Racine County Courthouse on Wisconsin Avenue, is the absolute cornerstone of any property audit. All major real property documents, like mortgages, land contracts, and deeds, must be officially recorded here to establish statutory priority and public notice. If a contractor files a construction lien, this is exactly where it lives.
To check these records online, you're going to use a specialized application called Landshark. It's pretty straightforward. Just access the official Racine County portal, search the indexed metadata by the owner's name or address, and if you happen to spot something suspicious, you can actually purchase the official document images right then and there to verify the exact status.
Let's jump to Section 3, Tax and Court Lien Checks. We have to do this because, unfortunately, Landshark doesn't catch everything.
While Landshark covers recorded deeds, we have to look elsewhere for delinquent taxes, which attach automatically to real estate. Your go-to tool here is a totally free public portal called the Ascent Land Records Suite. You open it up, query the specific real estate tax parcel, and review the payment history. This is incredibly crucial because in Wisconsin, delinquent property taxes constitute an automatic first priority lien. That means they take legal precedence over even a previously recorded private mortgage. Next up, you've got to search the WCCA system, which stands for Wisconsin Circuit Court Access. Why? Because any civil judgment or state tax warrant that's formally docketed by the clerk of circuit court becomes a general lien on all real property owned by that debtor in the county. So you visit the portal, search by the seller's full legal name, and specifically select Racine County. And since names can be super common, you'll definitely want to refine your search with middle initials or dates of birth to make sure you're looking at the right person.
Section 4, Interpreting your search results. Finding the records is really only half the battle. Now we need to figure out exactly what these legal documents mean for your investment.
Okay, I want you to literally burn this number into your memory.
10 years.
Under Wisconsin law, an unsatisfied civil judgment remains an active cloud on the debtor's property for a full 10 years from the date it's entered. Think about that. A financial mistake the current owner made nearly a decade ago can still haunt a current sale today if it was never properly paid off and cleared off.
So, when you're looking at the electronic docket history on WCCA, you need to read it like a pro. Verify the exact filing date to see if it falls within that 10-year window, and note the total amount of the judgment. But the absolute most important thing to look for is a filed satisfaction of judgment or satisfaction of lien. If you see that document filed, it proves the debt has been officially cleared and the lien is lifted. If you don't see it, you have to assume the lien is still active.
Section 5. Pitfalls and Action Steps. Let's dive into a few common mistakes buyers make and the proactive steps you can take to keep your investments totally secure.
Here is a massive pitfall that catches even experienced investors completely off guard. Relying on a credit report. Listen closer to this, because a few years ago, the major credit bureaus entirely stopped reporting tax liens on personal credit reports. So if you just check a seller's credit score, or even your own for that matter, you won't see it. A notice of federal tax lien is a public record, sure, but if you don't manually search the county or state records yourself, you might blindly walk right into a massive IRS lien.
To stay out of trouble, here are some expert action steps. First, sign up for property alerts, also known as land notification through Racine County. It'll actually ping you if a document is recorded against a specific name or property. Regularly monitor those Ascent and WCCA public databases we just discussed. If you're worried about federal taxes, checking an IRS online account is the fastest way to see a balance. And finally, whenever you buy, make sure your formal offer to purchase contains strict contingency clauses stating exactly what happens if a lien is discovered before closing.
Okay, Section 6, Mandatory Legal Disclaimer. Before we wrap things up, we really need to have a quick talk about the limitations of DIY digital sleuthings.
While you now have the tools to do a really powerful baseline search, always remember this. Even the best digital sleuths need a great title attorney. Finding the documents is one thing, but understanding how they legally interact, priority statuses, and statutory exemptions, that's an entirely different ballgame.
Therefore, please keep in mind that this explainer is strictly for educational purposes and absolutely does not replace professional title searches or legal advice. If you're financing a purchase, your bank is going to order a professional title search anyway. But if you're paying cash or dealing with some complex off-market deal, you must always consult a qualified professional, like a real estate attorney or a specialized title examiner, to perform a comprehensive title search and interpret these encumbrances before you sign on the dotted line.
But hey, armed with the knowledge of how to use Landshark, the Ascent Land Record Suite, and the WCCA portal, you can now navigate Racine County's digital landscape like an absolute pro. You have the power to protect your investments and avoid the nightmare of acquiring someone else's debts. So the only question left is, what hidden secrets are you going to uncover in your very first search?